Yo, 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 what's good? What's good? What's good? So somebody had hit me with a text message, one of my peoples, and they were asking me, so you went to South Bend, Indiana, right? That's what they were asking me. And they were surprised because it's weird, bro. It's a trip. Um, when people hear that I went to South Bend, Indiana, me and my wife, they automatically just like are tripped out by it because they're like, damn, that's a shithole. South Bend, Indiana. You know what I'm saying? What up? What up, Robert? What's good with you, fam? Um, they're like, bro, it's hella dangerous in South Bend, Indiana. They start, asking me questions like, why did you go out there? That's the first thing people ask all the time. Like, yeah, they said that's the most dangerous city in America, Indiana, by Gary, Indiana, South Bend, Indiana. I'm like, the thing about it is, bro, is that when I was out there, I never really seen anything in South Bend, Indiana. I never really seen, you know, I never seen people getting active. I never seen shootings. I never seen like the way they paint the picture of South Bend, Indiana is that it's like a miniature Chicago where fools are just dying every night. Hey, what's up, Matthew? What's good with you, bro? I never seen that. I seen more stuff in Denver, to be honest. I seen a lot more craziness in Denver than South Bend, Indiana. Hey, what's up with it? Big 303 Slim was cracking. You know, and maybe to be honest, it's because I wasn't looking for it. But when they paint a picture about South Bend, Indiana, it's like, bro, that's a murder city. There's so many people dying in South Bend, Indiana. Like, and I'm like, bro, I really didn't see that shit out there. I was throughout the neighborhoods out there, Michigan Avenue and Portage. You know what I'm saying? I was on the west side of South Bend all the way to the east side. And I really, really honestly didn't see any crime, didn't see murders, didn't see shootings, didn't see anything. I see more on East Colfax and West Colfax than South Bend, Indiana. But they always say that, like even Kansas City, Missouri, bro, it's crazy. Why did you go out there? I don't know. I never got no bad luck. We never got bothered. We were in the projects out there. Ain't nobody tripping on us. So, so then I come back to this too. When people say, we've been to Denver, ain't nothing going on. Maybe it's the same thing. They just are outsiders, really don't have like any real tap into the streets. They don't really see because they're pedestrians, they're tourists, people visiting the city. So when they hit Denver, they're not really seeing, you know, they're not seeing the underworld or the activeness when it comes to gang banging or anything. Because I didn't see anything out there. But you ready for a birthday at Broncos Steelers? If you go, we'll tailgate, we'll turn up, bro. We're gonna get it. So this somebody sent me this video tonight and was like, "Hey, do a reaction video on this." And I don't think I'm gonna be able to have time tomorrow to do reaction videos tomorrow. So I said, forget it. You know what I'm saying? I got a little bit of time before I go to sleep. I got a 12-hour day ahead of me. And they just sent it over. So we're gonna get to it, man. We're gonna check in, see what this dude's talking about. He's touring South Bend, Indiana. And the homie said, yeah, the way that they're making it seem is like your life's just in danger out there. Go to East Colfax. So let's see what this is. Let's see what they're talking about. I'm gonna give you a honest opinion from a person that lived out there for almost a year. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna let it be known what's going on. So
Yeah, so it's raining out. Too
well,
bad.
if you don't know who this guy is, he goes to all kinds of hoods out in the United States. He's been to Pueblo, even out here, and he just kind of gives a rundown of what he's heard and what he's seen. Go check him out. He got a good YouTube channel.
Unfortunately, but we're gonna have to go in and see South Bend in the rain. It's probably gonna look a lot worse than it would in a beautiful sunny day. But hey, you're in South Bend once, you get what you get, right? So we're about to go into South Bend and check out what the hell is wrong with South Bend, Indiana. South Bend.
So first and foremost, let me say something like that. I didn't really see anything wrong with South Bend, Indiana. To be honest, I'm gonna be real with you. People out there, they were more prone to talk and have respect out there than Denver, Colorado. There's no respect in Denver whatsoever. People out there will talk to you. People out there will say hello. They have communication skills out there. In Denver, Colorado, bro, you can't even talk to a person without somebody like thinking you're plotting, disrespectful all the way around. It's a whole different vibe because it's the Midwest out there. Now, I'll say this. There's always good parts of the city, and then there's always bad parts of the city. You got Notre Dame University, which is one of the bigger universities in college. That's where Notre Dame is in South Bend, Indiana. So $1 billion college or whatever, however much money it costs to fund that shit. Basically, they're paying the pitcher like this place is just a hellhole and it's just crazy. Now he basically went to a part of the South Bend, Indiana that, yes, it's more hood, but even in that, bro, I was on Michigan Avenue 2:00 in the morning and nobody was tripping, pressing, bro. Like, you be in the Denver streets and you come across wrong people that early in the morning, you might get shot. You might get your head blown off. And that's just the reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't the same gang banging. Bloods and Crips ain't pressing each other. Like, they don't have that out there. They have more GDs and all that stuff out there in South Bend, Indiana. So let's go on to the next one.
You haven't heard of this place, you're not out of the loop. It's a small place located way up in the northeast corner of the state, kind of by Michigan. And for this dashboard tour, we're going to go there and see what it's like firsthand and talk about what happened here and how this place is just a smaller version of what's happening in America on a much bigger scale in many of our.
So he's basically in like the more run down area of South Bend, Indiana, because there's a beautiful part of South Bend, Indiana also.
Larger cities. Now, I found South Bend to be kind of a down home, run down, crumbling, post-industrial town with a bunch of Catholics. It's country and urban, dangerous, but kind of quaint. It's a college town with high poverty.
See, and I don't know where all the dangerous talk comes from, because to me, there was no danger, bro. I didn't see one bit parts of danger. I didn't see no parts of dangerousness. And like I said, I was just passing through. Maybe I didn't see it. They weren't tripping on me. So it didn't seem dangerous whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been more paranoid in Denver, Colorado than South Bend, Indiana ever.
There's cornfields all around. Many would call this a struggling post-industrial city. South Bend lost 50,000 people in the last 50 years. Look at this map. All that red ain't good. There's a ton of blocks here with one occupied home on the whole block. You'll see some of that as we drive around a little bit. There are many reasons why South Bend's hurting now, as opposed to when this was a great place to live in the 50s and 60s. Deindustrialization, suburbanization, white flight, and population trends that took people to the south and west and away from the Midwest all contributed to why South Bend's going downhill. The city's received many urban renewal grants, which incentivize you to destroy your urban core. You're going to see as we drive around town, there's parts of town that are pockmarked with empty blocks where old industrial sites and businesses used to be and homes used to be. At one point.
So one part he said right there, that is true. When you get to downtown South Bend, Indiana, like by downtown South Bend, you're going to have some blocks that are boarded up, run down, because it's an older city. It's like a little or older city. But that's not majority of South Bend, Indiana. See, people pick and choose of what he's saying. That's just a little part of South Bend, Indiana by downtown. Not the whole city's like that. There's beautiful parts of South Bend, Indiana. So I think he just got content. He went around the very few aspects of South Bend, and he's like, yeah, it's just a terrible place.
1,500 of this city's 38,000 homes were vacant or abandoned. That's like 1 out of 20 something. And now they're tearing them down one by one, but they're still everywhere. They're a huge eyesore, and they're a magnet for crime and homelessness and whatever else people do in homes that they're not supposed to be in, right?
That's another thing is too. when you come from Denver, Colorado, and you see the homeless stuff that's going out here in Denver, and you see the homeless crisis in Denver, where blocks are tent city and you got people homeless every single block in the Denver metro. You look at this and you say you don't have a homeless problem, bro. There's not really a homeless problem in other cities. Go to downtown Denver where there's tents everywhere, and then you tell me what the homeless problem is in that city. You know, Denver has a real homeless problem, homeless people everywhere. So I didn't see homeless people at all in South Bend, Indiana, besides drug addicts by the bridge.
People in South Bend used to be really hard workers. They used to make the Studebaker car, and they made plows and other manufacturing things. There was prosperity here, but a lot of those old manufacturing places sit empty these days. In South Bend in the 50s, more than half the people here worked in manufacturing. Today, it's only 10%. So 40% of manufacturing jobs is gone. Where do you think those people went? Well, they're either still here, they're poor, or they left. Since 1972, every South Bend mayor has been a Democrat. And today, all but one of their city council members is a Democrat. A notable former mayor is Pete Buttigieg, who is now involved at the higher level of the government. But he ran this place for the last 8 years. Doesn't look like much has changed, Pete. Doesn't look like you've really done anything to fix this place up. Although they're trying. There's some new restaurants and hotels that are coming in small doses. And they're building some new homes for the first time in a long time here. Some startups have even started to come here, and people are trickling back in. I mean, South Bend has a Whole Foods now, and a Lululemon, and an Apple store, and an Urban Outfitters if you're into that stuff. I am not. Drugs is a big deal here. It's common for there to be Narcan kept behind the counter in public shopping centers. Even the YMCA and the libraries have Narcan on hand. It's because a lot of people here are on heroin and fentanyl and crack and meth. The schools are terrible.
So that's one thing I'm going to say like this is crazy, bro, because any city that has any aspect to run down, you're going to have the drug problem. But it's interesting to really like look at this and see what he's talking about, because there was only one part of South Bend, Indiana, that there was actually smokers, and it was under the bridge by the bus station. There was not whole neighborhoods that I seen fools out there smoked out. It was one part of South Bend, Indiana. They were by the bridge and they would get high, and their fools would be high. So he's acting like the whole city's just smoked out, and there's comments on here that I read. And they was kind of irritated about that. Like, bro, you're making our city sounds like it's a drug addict city,
Terrible. 22 of South Bend's 33 schools got a D or an F last year. That's just outright terrible. Of course, it's really dangerous here. You just look at the place and tell. Last year was the most violent in recent memory here in South Bend. There's a shooting here about every few days on record, but there's way more shootings here.
I never even seen one shooting when I was out there. Never heard it. Never heard fools shooting. Never seen fools dumping on each other. Never heard anything. I didn't even see really the cops pulled up to anywhere. So, that's interesting that he said there's a shooting almost every other night.
Better than that. They had 28 murders here for a city of under 100,000 people, and that's up 87% since last year. Look at all the crime numbers that have gone up. 28 murders per 100,000 people put South Bend in the category with Memphis and Kansas City, Missouri, and even higher than Cleveland and DC and Philadelphia. This place is more dangerous, has more murders per capita than some of our worst big cities. There's gangs here.
So what's crazy about that is that the Michigan Avenue, they have a Michigan Avenue. So Michigan Avenue would be like East Colfax. It's their big avenue that goes through the whole city. And that's where they say the gangbanging is the most. That's where they say. I crept over there on Michigan Avenue 2:00 in the morning, and there wasn't fools posted on the block like that. There wasn't fools all out there. It didn't even seem it was desolate, So it's hard for me to say there was actually a big gang presence out there, You know, when you get to certain cities and stuff, you know if there's a gang presence because you're gonna start seeing different things that would be like, okay, these fools are from this neighborhood. You know, one thing about Denver, you can always tell different aspects of where you're at. I couldn't tell whatsoever on their main avenue, you know. And my auntie lived right on Michigan Avenue, a couple blocks away from there.
Because Chicago's nearby and Gary's close by. So the gang members come hang out with family to lay low for a while. But they don't lay low, you know.
Big AZ.
A quarter of people in South Bend live in poverty. That's way higher than Houston and Philadelphia, and not too much lower than Detroit. Of course, the cost of living is going to be low here, but there's a cost to living here. It's a strange place, South Bend is. You have this decaying industrial footprint, and then right down the road, one of the most prestigious universities in the country. That's right, just down the road is the University of Notre Dame. Some people say this is a desperate, washed-up Rust Belt survivor that only squeaks by because of the University of Notre Dame. But the university down the road has pretty much walled itself off from the rest of the city. The University of Notre Dame has its own zip code, its own post office, its own police, its own fire, and even its own power station. They encourage our students to stay on campus, don't go into South Bend, and they encourage our faculty to live in the burbs.
So that's interesting. He said everybody that goes to that college, they're telling them not to go into the city limits. So there's a bridge that is where we are right now. There's a bridge that goes over to go to the Notre Dame campus. And on that side, it's all beautiful area. So they tell the students, don't go into the city because it's hella dangerous in the city. And that's just mind blowing to me, bro. It's like, these people are crazy.
Not in South Bend proper. There's a lot of South Bends in this country, actually, but, you know, places you've actually heard of. You'll see the same kind of problems.
So how you join a Denver gang is you go to, there's this thing called Indeed, and they have listings for the gangs you can join, and you just go fill out an application, bro, and make sure you have a resume though, because you know, they want to see if you have the criterias. So Indeed, and then go to the gang listings, and they'll have gangs that you can join, and just, you know what I'm saying, you go from there. But yeah, that's how you do it.
You're going to have in Youngstown and Buffalo and Newark and Cleveland. South Bend's just on a much smaller scale. One resident.
With the bike clubs, you got to have, like, you have to be riding like a bike, like a 10 speed for a minute. So I'm not really up to that part, but you know what I'm saying, you got to know how to ride a bike, just any kind of bike, to be honest.
Put it like this. Downtown's full of abandoned buildings, and there are many vacant houses, and the city's solutions to change one-way streets into two-way streets and have kids paint drawings on abandoned homes to make them look like not such an eyesore. Stupid. And that is just so sad. South Bend, everybody. There's a lot of South Bends in this country, just smallish, rotting away cities that need a big change. They're going to be gone one day. In terms of South Bend,
so who's this guy?
Give people an idea on, I mean, I just drove through there last week. It's pretty beat up in a lot of areas. It's pretty rough. Tell people.
See, and that's the thing about it is, bro. So he went to, and the only reason why I'm doing this video is because somebody had sent me and say, hey, can you react to this video? Because I know you went to South Bend. Why did you go out there? So I said, I'll react to it. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely not something that I just do all the time because it's not the city. It's not Denver. But people know that I lived out there, and they ask, like, why did you go out there? It's all violent. It's all violent. It's a crazy city. I'm like, bro, I don't know. I really don't know because I didn't see it. There was no gang presence. There was no gang presence at all. I didn't see the gangs. There was no gangbangers out there. They were not posted on the block, and they probably were not even colored up, flagged up. So I didn't know who it was. I didn't know anything about it. They didn't bother me. They didn't press me. So I really just was like, man. And you know what's crazy, interesting that we're talking about this, because me and my wife were actually talking about maybe moving back out there. you know. So let's go.
Well, what it's like there.
Um, it it looks like a Dalmatian. Not because of the colors black and white, but in the terms that you will have this block that is looking very fancy and very nice. Like, for example, you go around the Memorial General Hospital and you will see that spot over there, a few houses by the river, and you will see the doctors that they're just living over there because they're working across the street. But then you cross the Lincoln Way West, which, and at the same time you will see the spots that there's not being worked on by the city. In the train overpass, you will see a whole bunch of homeless doing tents.
See, and that's what I'm saying is so he's talking about where he's talking about what I was talking about by the bridge. You're going to see homeless people and addicts, but that's not throughout the whole city. This is painting a whole picture that South Bend just got a gang of homeless people. It's not like when you come from Denver, you see real homeless. So when you see that, you have a different mindset of what homeless is. Homeless, there's so many homeless people in Denver, Colorado. We got a crisis. We got a crisis in Denver. It's homeless everywhere. I seen in the last 5 years, it's just people come out here to be homeless. I think people just come out here to be under society, and they're like, I don't want to have responsibility no more. I'm going to Colorado, and I'm just going to be homeless because they came out here like the migrants. You know what I'm saying? It's wild, bro. We have a real homeless. South Bend didn't have a homeless problem.
There's the bridge of the train overpass. That housing over here is severe. It is a severe problem. You will find a lot of slumlords.
What about the crime and the drugs? I know it's really
Oh,
dangerous.
oh my God! No, if you go, let me tell you, downtown South Bend is shootings everywhere. Shootings every single night, every single early morning. It will be 24/7. I can tell you firsthand about what they're facing over.
He said every single night. He said every single night there was shootings. I didn't see one shooting. I was out there for almost a year. I didn't see one shooting out there. I didn't hear about nobody getting chipped off. I don't know if this is just for content aspect. I don't know, but this is not the South Bend I actually experienced. I didn't see people all laid out and shootings every other night and the violent aspect, bro. So from my experience, what they're talking about, I don't even understand what they're talking about. Maybe the crimes went up since I've been out there.
Over there on the police department and the detective department because they are receiving a lot of complaints from the city, and the mayor is like sorry, pressing them so much, like, no, you gotta do something, you gotta do something. I'm getting a whole bunch of letters that people are getting tired of the crime activity, and they are asking for help from anyone and everybody around here to help them do their job, because if nobody's going to tell the police anything, because the police is this is not the police problem. People think that this is the police department problem. No, this is everybody's problem, so everybody's involved, because I'm getting the one that is being attacked, so I have to help them, and people are afraid that they might get hurt by these people,
Damn, on the
and
highway?
I am not driven by fear,
That's
so
crazy. They on the
I
highway doing
have
that?
little to lose.
Wow.
Um,
And the drug use is bad there.
the drug use, there's a new tendency right now. Like the drug use is horrible, is terrible, and they are gonna push the people that they don't know that they're new. Because I'm new, I'm just walking 10 p.m. because my car broke down, and it did happen to me. My car broke down, so I have to go back and forth. It's gonna be like less than a mile of walk.
So this part of the town, it's more like buildings that's been there and just decaying and stuff for sure. This part of the town it kind of does look desolate, kind of looks run down for sure. But they do have the Notre Dame area where it's like all new buildings, and they got a whole city over there that's like booming. So yeah, he made the video and went straight to their slums, the slums of South Bend, Indiana. We used to go through all out here because it's small. It's a smaller city, you know. But what I was reading some stuff, and it said this shit is worse than every city out there. South Bend, Indiana is the worstest city in America. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn. You know, it was interesting. It was mind blowing because I didn't see that shit.
Walking, and it's 10 p.m. and I'm just going to the gas station on Sheridan and Western.
Yeah, a lot of natives
That
were
one
out
is
there.
being bombarded
A lot of natives were out there.
bystanders, by loiters, and over there, that segment from, let me tell you, the shootings is happening, most of it from Olive on Western, from Olive to Sheridan or the Krogers. So that is a very very bad area. Shootings are everywhere over there.
How do you feel about like all the abandoned homes that you see everywhere? I mean, you drive on some blocks in South Bend, and there'll be like one house on the block.
Besides the drugs are terrible, are bad. Yeah, the housing problem is bad. The
Who, me? Am I racist? Not racist. I really just don't like soft people. I don't like idiots. I don't like a lot of rappers because the industry is just whack. Like, so I don't like stuff, but I'm not racist. I don't hate anybody because of skin color.
abandoned houses and buildings where you're gonna see a lot of them here and there, like 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 I said, you have one block that is gonna look nice, and then the other block is gonna be abandoned buildings. Like in the Lincoln Way West, you're gonna see that. Condemning houses, you will
Yeah.
see them with a sign of condemned. I actually used to live in this house, and it's condemned right now. I don't know why it's still there, but it's a very slow process.
Do people in South Bend have hope that that place can get better and turn things around? Because I mean, it's about half
Well,
as big as it once
that's
was.
what I wanted to react to. So I just wanted to chop it up, you know, because the homie asked me. But you know, from my experience of being out there, um, it was a different atmosphere. Definitely, it was a way different atmosphere than Denver. Like I said, people had respect. People would talk to each other more. The neighbors, like they knew their community more, and maybe that's a Midwest thing. Everybody knows in Denver, a lot of communities they're not even on that no more. You know, people don't choose to even communicate no more. Nobody talks because 2024, it's pretty much all about, you know, you and just you. So, you know, but it was a different atmosphere. Like, I enjoyed bits and parts of, you know, the slower atmosphere than Denver. I actually liked it. There was one thing about South Bend, Indiana. There's not a lot of work in the South Bend, Indiana, but if you go to Alcar, there was a lot of factories and a lot of places that you could get a job. Me and my wife were working at a candy shop out there. We were doing gummy bears and packaging stuff at a factory, so that was cool. And then we started working for a hotel. So let me go over a couple of these little comments. I'm not going to keep you. I just wanted to do a couple different things because of the simple fact is I'm not going to be able to do any lives for the rest of the week. Probably, I don't know. But okay, active. Yeah, I heard Oklahoma City's active. Definitely. I heard the Nutty Blocks is out there. Definitely. I don't know too much about Oklahoma, my homie. Like, I never really been out there, but besides Broken Arrow. What up, Jordan? Yeah, they tripping out there, man. Everybody's going crazy on the pro Palestines and, you know what I'm saying, the Israel and different things. Everybody's tripping on that. Yeah, so he does do videos. He does do videos all over America, and he's come to, I think, Pueblo. He's went to Pueblo. I don't know if he's went to Denver. Maybe he has, you know, but He has a lot of footage from like different cities. Gangbangers post online now. No more posting in the streets. You are not lying about that. That's what's up, though. But yeah, I hope everybody's blessed. I hope everybody's work week starts. You should have said you was KKK, not the KKK. Yeah, he's just a troll. I don't know. He might be somebody we know. He's just a troll. He might be somebody we know with a fake account, you know. But bless his heart, he still supported tonight. You know, he gave that view. Yeah, they're on in Northwest, bro. They're on the highway tripping with the squeegees. They're out here doing squeegee work. You know, they're running up on your car and demanding that they're actually cleaning your windows. I'll have to chop it up with you, Matthew, about Oklahoma City, man, what they do out there, bro. I don't know too much about Oklahoma City. You know, I was out there at Broken Arrow. That was it. That's all. Watch you all the time. Much love. You know what it is. Shout out to Trujillo, Mall High Salute, sis. You know what it is. I'm gonna let you guys go for the night. Mall High salute to everybody. I'll holler at you guys. Y'all have a good night.